This is the Asia HR Forum 2023.
Neuroscience reminds us that we are put on Earth to minimize danger and to maximize reward. We are really put here to be happy, to happy dance. But then pressure, stress, the war on talent sneaks in and ruins our little happy dance. So what's the answer? What's the antidote to any pressure, stress, all that you face in HR? Well, I believe it is vitamin C. Vitamin C as in celebration. Your daily dose will make you more joyful, more grateful, more excited about everyday life. You see, it's not just walking through life, it is dancing through life. And I truly do believe that it's the best way to stay in step with our community, with your employer, with your employees, your staff, your suppliers, the community at large. So, what do you say? Turn this into a little bit of celebration? Anybody, what's the most universal celebration of them all? Birthday, right? Yeah, anybody celebrating a birthday today? Any birthdays? I don't see. Anybody feel a year older? I figured that way, all right. All right, any birthdays this week? Anybody ever celebrated a birthday? Yeah, I know. Birthdays next week. All right, run to you're the first one I saw. Both of you, you get a good luck $2 bill. Come here. From the USA. Maybe you haven't seen these. A lot of people think they're fake because they are. No, I'm kidding. Happy birthday to you. Come on, move, get up here. All right, what else are we celebrating? I'm going to give one more of these away. Anybody celebrating annulment? Finally, you're free after all these years. Any? No, maybe not. Okay. All right, other celebrations? Well, why do we start a program on celebration with a little celebration? Because it reminds us where our focus needs to be. On solutions instead of challenges, on what's good about the world and the workplace and not about its demise. There's so many opportunities today to bring ourselves down if we give ourselves permission, right? Last two books I've written. Celebrate Lessons Learned from the World's Most Admired Organizations. Followed it up with a book called A Celebration a Day, 365 Ways to a Happier, Healthier Culture. In the book, we define celebration as acknowledging all that is good. The good work that you do. The good work, the people that you do it with. The people that you do it for. It's when your to-do list becomes your done list. It's celebrating the little and the big milestones along the way. You see, celebration is really just an attitude. It's a philosophy about life. It's the lens through which we see our world. And if you can change your lens, you can change your language, you can change your life. Look at the difference between the word deadline and finish line. I don't want to achieve any goal with the word dead in it. Yeah, we finished right on time on Tuesday, but in the process, Kurt and Carla are dead. I mean, that's a heavy price to pay for success, wouldn't you say? Finish line implies that there's going to be some kind of celebration when you get to the end. There's going to be some kind of closure. The problem with work today, especially in HR, because you have so many balls that you're juggling, is we just move from thing to thing. We're putting out fires. We're dealing with employee issues, right? We don't have time to celebrate. And that's why finish line is so important. So your first challenge from me today is change the word deadline to finish line. And see if you notice any difference as you're approaching and completing whatever task it may be. All right? All right. So the real key to celebration, to keep that celebration mentality, is based on three things. Number one is gratitude. Gratitude is a grateful feeling or emotion for the life that we have and those that we share our lives with. How do we model gratitude? In this huge war on talent, as more OFWs are heading to places as borders open up and countries that need skilled workers, Philippines loses more and more of these employees. How do we show our gratitude? Not just financially, which is finally coming up in the Philippines, right? But that person to person, how do we model and show gratitude to our employees? Number 2 is play. And play is simply letting go of the negative emotions of the way it used to be or we want it to be. Let go of anger, let go of resentment, and live positively in the present moment. And we need to model that as HR managers and directors for our staff as well. Mindfulness really is all about living in the present moment. And then, surprise. Surprise is the element of the unexpected. It's catching people doing something right and giving them more of what they want, what's highest on their joy list. I think it first started with Joseph Pine's mass customization, where how do we figure out what each employee really desires and giving them more of that, what's highest on their joy list. So if you look at those 3 words, gratitude, play, and surprise, what do we come up with?
Recalculating.
Oh, GPS, that's what it is. So I recommend that you don't get out of bed in the morning without turning on your GPS. Siri, you just told us recalculating. Can you tell us a little bit more? Yes?
Turn left ahead, and you will have reached your destination.
Yes, indeed.
Unless you want to continue being a stupid jerk with a crappy attitude, in which case your destination will be a crappy life. Good luck with that.
Okay, so Siri makes a good point. In the most simple terms, right? Crappy attitude, crappy life, attitude of gratitude, happy life. And this is really what I want you to take away. The crux of the Celebrate program is, how do we keep our GPS turned on during the most tense times when so many things are thrown at you in your HR roles? All right, so we need emotion. We need an anchor. We need something to remind us when times get tough that we do have the power to keep our GPS turned on. The universal sign for play is the old hang loose. All right, give me a little hang loose if you would. In Hawaii, we call this shaka. Shaka means chill out, relax. I'll take care of you. You take care of me. Live life with a little bit more gratitude. Live positively in the present moment. Honor people, your staff, with what's highest on their joy list. All right, this becomes your new mantra, GPS. I'm going to ask you a question. The answer is GPS like you really mean it. Ready? Too much stress? GPS. All right, this is the participatory part of the program, interactive, all right? I want the hands. Life's a mess. GPS. Compliance, talent, duress. GPS. All right, you're getting it better. All right. You have hope. We'll play with it as we go along. All right, so first is gratitude. How do we create that GPS culture? Gratitude. It needs to come from the heart, not the head. Abundance flourishes in a grateful heart. I truly believe that the single most important determinant of your future well-being is how well you practice gratitude. How do we have more of an attitude of gratitude instead of an attitude? You know, an attitude, another dark, dreary, dreadful day in the HR dungeon of doom. You know anybody like that? So how do we move from there or wherever we're at to more of an attitude of gratitude? I think it starts with one simple question. Before you feel any pressure of the day's responsibilities, ask yourself this question: what do I have to be grateful for? You wake up, check the obituary section, your name's not there. It's going to be a good day. Any day above ground is a good day, right? When we count our blessings, we have so many more blessings to count. We interviewed Mary Laverty for the book. She has this concept called the best of the best. Started around the dinner table, growing when her kids were young and sitting around the dinner table. Before they could eat, she said, you got to come up with one good thing that happened at school today. Around our dinner table these days, my mom is 88 years old. Her favorite game to play is Guess Who Died Today? Mom, I hate that game. Can we play something else, please? What? Guess who's about to die? No, Mom, let's play around to the best of the best. Let's talk about what's positive. Jerome talked about the Ritz-Carlton's lineup that he then instilled in that Sentosa culture. And that's basically all about starting off your meetings in every department with something positive, right? It worked for Ritz. It still works for Ritz. It works for Sentosa. It can work for you. Too often we get into meetings, we start complaining about everything that's going wrong. We need to start with something positive. That's the best of the best. Jerome encouraged you, I encourage you to instill that some way, not only in your work culture, but in your life as well. It makes a huge difference, especially when there's so much world turmoil today. For me, what helps me keep gratitude in perspective is Together We Can Change the World. 2008, we founded Together We Can Change the World, and with the mission being to educate and empower less fortunate children and women in Southeast Asia. We serve 5 countries. Most of the speakers are here today, except for Monica. Monica, we'd love you to be a part of it, however. You're invited in. And we have seven of us on the platform today. We come from around the world. Every speaker that's on the platform today paid their own way to get here and had to do a fundraiser for $1,500. All that money goes for causes in these 5 countries, but when we raise money here in the Philippines, all of it stays here. We have some wonderful causes here, and it's such a great reminder that no matter where we are in our life today, there's someone that has it a lot worse that's figured out a way to be happy. And there's someone that has it a lot better that's figured out a way to be miserable. We learn so much from the causes that we serve. Janice Stanfield, my co-founder, couldn't be with us today, unfortunately. She has a saying, she says, the life you change may be your own. The mission that we are on is a life-changing mission for us. You see, it's not happiness that makes us grateful, but it's gratefulness that makes us happy. Give me a little GPS for gratitude. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Let's try again. GPS. Sorry about that. All right, next is play. And play is accepting your current reality. All the expectations and demands that are placed on you and that you place on yourself. All the pressure, all the stress, all the heartache. We all go through heartache in our life, especially here in the Philippines. It seems like you go through more heartache with typhoons and all the challenges that you face, right? It's being able to accept that, but yet keep the GPS turned on. Leif Johansson, in 1997, took over as the CEO of Volvo, the global Volvo. Many of you are familiar with their cars. At the time, the official language in Volvo was English. He changed that language. Anybody want to guess what he changed the official language to? Any guesses? German? Bzz. Nice try, but you're wrong. Any answer you probably come up with, unless you've heard this speech or this story before, will probably be wrong, so I'll save you the misery of guessing. He changed it from English to bad English. What does that mean? Why would he do that, right? See, what he found was the reason people don't speak up in organizations is not so much of a cultural thing, even though that does play a part. It's more of a language thing. When English is a second language, like it is here in the Philippines, what happens? If people don't feel like they have command of the English language, they don't speak up. And what have you done? You've taken away their voice. And today it's more important that when the 2 commercials Monica showed, one from way back when, and you look at commercials today, it's all about a sense of belonging. People want to feel part of something. Jerome, in the culture, same. You want to feel part of something larger than yourself. That's why it's so important to have a voice today. The number one concern for CHROs in the world's largest organizations, according to Gallup, a study they've just done recently, what do you think it is? Okay, I'm glad you're talking to yourself internally. I think you have the right answer. It's competition for talent. So it's so important with this war on talent today. losing some of the best talent because these countries are opening up and taking more and more Filipinos. How do we keep them here? Well, it starts with listening, making sure they have a voice, that they have an authentic environment in which they operate, that you truly care. And yeah, give them a little bit more money, it's important, but that's not the number one driver. Learning, that is one of the top drivers. Upskilling and reskilling, as you know, has become more important than ever. That's one of the biggest trends. Adaptive learning with AI, customized individual, what Frank was talking about with ChatGPT, and how we can create a program that is individually matched to every single learner in the organization. Micro-learning, just-in-time learning, same thing. On-demand learning objectives, so that we can get the information that we need, that training at that moment. And then building learning ecosystems. So how can we use learning as a competitive advantage? 90% of HR leaders say to succeed in the future, leaders need to operate in a more human way. Especially with AI today, it's going to be more important, the soft skills, the human touch. So how can we make sure that we can take advantage of AI, but at the same time build even more emotional connection? Richard Branson said, first we take care of our employees. When asked what's created this success in the Virgin umbrella of brands, he says, first we take care of our employees, then we take care of our customers, and then we take care of our shareholders. If we do it in that order, everybody is taken care of. Play starts with a good sense of humor. How many say you have a good sense of humor? Right? How many used to have a good sense of humor? How many of you never had a sense of humor, but you think somewhere, maybe there's hope? A sense of humor starts with it starts with not a good memory, but an attitude that there is humor around us, that we can find humor in tough situations. I mean, looking for the humor around us. Never buy a mask at a thrift store. Right? The highest form of humor is the ability to laugh at yourself. The lowest form of humor is making somebody else the brunt of a joke. But when you can laugh at yourself, in a sense, what you're saying is you accept your flaws and your foolishness, your idiosyncrasies and your imperfections. And then people can't laugh at you, they have to laugh with you. And the older we get, right, Frank? Yep. The more there is to laugh at. Other people are laughing at us, why not laugh with them? Highest form of humor, laugh at yourself. One form of humor is planned spontaneity. It sounds like an oxymoron, but I use planned spontaneity as coming to work, coming to life, ready to play. Look for opportunities to turn our obstacles, our challenges into humor. You ever been to a dinner party and you're in the bathroom and somebody rattles the door to get in? I mean, normally you'd say what? I'm in here, be out a minute. Next time, try this. Come in. I've been waiting. You want to spice up a dinner party? That will spice up a dinner party. Me and a buddy are watching a speaker. Speaker falls off the stage. Buddy turns to me and says, hey, what would you say right now if you fell off a stage? I thought about it for a quick sec. I said, I'll probably say something like, don't mind me. It's just a stage I'm going through. I said, what would you say? He said, I will now take questions from the floor. So if I fall off a stage, I'm going with his, I will now take questions from the floor because it's funnier, right? So it's looking for opportunities to be more playful. The question is, number one, have you decided you want it to be fun? I mean, HR typically is not that fun, right? So you really have to make a conscious choice that, yeah, let's make it more fun. What are we doing to make it more fun? We don't want to go through life like this little pouting kid, right? So the question then, what are we doing to make it more fun? What are we doing to make it more fun? We need to just get a little bit more creative. Yeah. Here is the top 10, according to a new survey around the world of what makes organizations thrive. And I'm sure you can relate to all of these in HR. But if you look at Asia, employees want to feel valued for their contributions. Next is having fun at work. Work that fulfills me, and then a sense of belonging. So important today. Go ahead, I'll get out of your way for a second if you want to take a photo of that. Goethe said, whatever you can do or begin you or think you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. So as you're looking to how do we connect emotionally with this team member, the staff of today, let's take some risks. Let's learn together. Let's fail forward in coming up with how do we truly figure out what's highest on somebody's joy list and give them a little bit more of that. Give me a little GPS for play. GPS. All right, everybody have a bingo card. You should at your tables. I see that you don't have them here. No. Okay, we need some. Keep your hands up if you don't have cards, but you should have them in the middle of your table. There should be enough for everybody at the table. I think we missed this table up front. Everybody know how to play bingo? Okay. All right, as we're handing out bingo cards, 5 in any direction, vertically, horizontally, diagonally. 5 in any direction. That funny looking guy in the middle, I think that may be me. That's your free space. Just put an X right through it. All right, I only brought one prize with me, so if 2 of you happen to get bingo at the same time, whoever screams it the loudest will be declared the winner. Okay, you ready? Everybody got a pen and you're ready to go? B7 is first. B10. O71. I25. N41. N35. Quick repeat. B10, B7, O71. I25. N41. N35. I28. O64. O68. O70. N33. G51. Look at that. Oh my God. I mean, who would think in an audience this size everybody would get bingo at the same time? Surprise! If you didn't get bingo, you did something wrong. Actually, there's 8 different cards, but everybody's winning bingo number should be G51. All right, so the key to surprise is make it a good surprise. Are we making life incrementally better for our staff, for our family, for our friends, for those that we come in contact with, for those that you're going to see at lunch today? All right? The element of surprise. All right, so I am going to, my last slide will be also a QR code. My last 3 books, I've mentioned the 2 in the program. The other one is Happily Ever Laughter, How to Engage Any Audience. You're more than welcome. If you send me a note, my email address is on my bingo card. Send me a note there or just click on the QR code I'll show here in a minute, and you can have 1, 2, or all 3 books electronically for being here, being part of the HR Summit, and to remind you of the power of the element of surprise. All right? See, it comes down to, if you look at life, I think in the most simple terms, the quality of life is determined by the quality of our relationships, right? Men and women are so much different about relationships, it seems. I think the Philippines is probably more like America than a lot of countries, but 2 women haven't seen each other in a long time. How do they respond? It's you! I can't believe it's you! Come here! Honey, who was that lady? Oh, some lady I met at the market a couple weeks ago. For the life of me, I can't remember her name. Two guys haven't seen each other in a long time. How do they respond? Honey, who's that guy? It's Frank. You remember Frank? Frank's the guy that gave me the kidney. Frank, thanks again for the kidney. Have another Pez. Remember when you were young and your mom says, honey, it's much better to give than receive? And you're thinking to yourself, is she nuts? But then you got involved in a cause. Or maybe you got involved in HR and you realize what Albert Schweitzer said is right. He said he doesn't know what your future will bring, but what he does know is those of us that will truly be the most happy are the ones that have sought and found a way to serve. Luciano de Crescenza said, we're all angels, but with only one wing. And only by embracing each other, we fly. At times, it's a tough profession. You get beat up a lot along the way. But never forget how many people you help to fly. Thank you very much.